In this video, I'm going to show you how to make my white garlic pizza sauce that we put on our Sicilian style pizza crust. It goes great with bacon, chicken, whatever you want. If you want a white style sauce for your pizza, this is a really good option. And we're basically just making a bechamel here. So we're going to just turn the pot on over medium heat and pour in our quart of whole milk. And whole milk is usually better to use than non-fat or low-fat milk. It just gives you a better mouthfeel, better flavor in your bechamel sauce. Then we're going to add in our prepared white roux. And I have a separate video on how to make a roux, and we kind of go over all the different variations of roux. So if you're new to that, I'll put a link to that in the show notes. And you're basically just going to whisk that white roux into the milk and bring the milk up to a gentle simmer. Now here we have about 20 to 30 garlic cloves that I've blanched. And I'll put a separate link to that video because we blanched a few times to take away the harshness. I'm also throwing in half of a small diced yellow onion and a little bundle of fresh bay leaf and thyme. Now the reason why we put it in a bundle instead of just throwing it right in there is because later we're going to blend the garlic and the onions into this sauce once it thickens and reduces as shown here. And we don't want to blend those herb stems. So after about 20 minutes of simmering, it's going to reduce very slightly. You can see it's not at a rolling boil. It's just very gently simmering. I'm going to then take this mixture and place in a blender. Now, some tricks that you can add here for some optional flavors is actually Hidden Valley Ranch packet. As strange as that sounds, it's delicious. It's basically MSG and dry herbs. And that's very common in white sauces on American-style pizzas. And white sauce is an American thing. You don't really see it in Italy. And also you can add in some chicken base. And the chicken base is going to give this a nice salty, meaty, umami flavor. Now, if you don't add any of those things in, at least you want to add in a little bit of lemon juice, which I'm showing right here. And squeeze it in a couple of swipes of fresh nutmeg on the microplane. This is going to give the sauce a good depth of flavor, and the lemon juice is going to help cut the richness. Also, a tiny bit of white pepper, just because the white pepper flavor I think is nice for this white sauce. And of course, you're going to want to season with some salt. Now, I'm also thickening here with xanthan gum. So see how the vortex hole gets thinner and thinner as the xanthan gum is incorporated? So I'm just sprinkling in a little bit of time by sight, letting it blend, and then checking the vortex. Okay, so the thicker your sauce gets, the smaller that vortex hole will be. Now, xanthan gum is a very powerful thing, so you want to use it sparingly and just a little bit at a time because this can seize up on you or turn almost snotty, for lack of a better term, if you add too much xanthan gum. But what we're doing here is we're just adjusting the final consistency up. We want this sauce to be relatively thick when hot, so it's coating the spoon, because we're gonna let this sauce chill after we pass it through a fine mesh strainer or a chinois, and that chinois is gonna make sure that we have a nice fine consistency and no lumps or grit. And then we're going to chill this before we place it on our pizza. And the chilling is going to allow it to thicken further and keep it from sogging out our pizza dough when we place it on. However, if we don't add the xanthan gum and thicken it right now when it's hot, then later when you chill it down, it's going to look fairly thick, but it's going to thin out a lot once you bake the pizza in the oven, and that's going to end up sogging into your pizza crust and giving you a soggy crust. So once the sauce is strained, you can place it in a container and refrigerate for up to 5 days. And you want to make sure it's cold before you place it on your pizza crust. And here I'm using it on a Sicilian-style pizza, even though the sauce isn't Sicilian. And you can use it on any pizza where you want a white sauce. And it goes great with chicken, bacon, really anything. For more information on that, check out this episode's show notes at stellaculinary.com/pizza.